Welcome to Glencoe's Health eSpotlight video series, where real-world connections help you develop the skills for a healthy future.
Weighed down by a backpack full of biology books and a back-breaking schedule, Lindsay Wells could use a break.
I can't live without my day planner. It's filled up every hour block. I have something to do.
Up at 4 a.m. on some days, her pre-med studies, rowing, and work can all add up to one stressed-out student. And according to the annual freshman survey, Lindsay isn't alone. 1/3 of college students say they are frequently overwhelmed by all they have to do. The number of stressed-out students has doubled since the survey began in 1985.
I go home and then go straight to work and do more homework and then wake up at 5 again in the morning. So it's like a never-ending day.
Female students seem to have it the hardest. 39% say they are stressed out, and only 20% of male students say they feel overwhelmed.
Women tend to spend more time than men do engaged in activities that promote stress, like studying and getting involved in multiple student clubs and groups, whereas the men are spending more time than the women involved in exercising, playing video games, and partying, activities that tend to release stress more often.
But apparently both sexes feel increasing financial pressures. Fewer available grants mean more and more students must get jobs. Almost a quarter of those surveyed said they may have to work full-time while in college. Lindsay Wells is looking for a second job to help pay for tuition.
How would you fit that into your schedule?
I'm not sure. I know it's difficult because the thing that always ends up suffering is studying.
Which gives her one more thing to get stressed out about.
It's not yet 6 in the morning. Yet 15-year-old Tori Roisman is beginning her daily pre-dawn ritual, getting ready for school.
I'm not a morning person.
Barely awake, she chokes down her vitamins and a glass of milk. Then off to the bus stop. Tori's bus arrives at 6:15, just as the sun is cracking the Virginia sky. By 7:20, she's at Langley High, and her first class has begun, French. For Tori and thousands of other high school students, it's a painfully early start.
Better sleep definitely means better students.
Sleep specialist Dr. Helene Emselem says teenagers need between 8.5 and 9.25 hours of sleep per night, almost impossible for a student like Tori. As we saw, in order to catch her 6:15 bus, Tori has to be awake by about 5:30 in the morning. In order to get 8.5 hours, she'd have to be asleep by 9 p.m. Highly unlikely, says Dr. Emselem.
Adolescents' chemistry is different than adult chemistry, and they are night owls.
According to Dr. Emselem, children and adults start secreting the sleep-inducing hormone melatonin about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, bringing sleepiness on by 9 or 10 at night. In adolescence, melatonin secretion begins hours later, making it difficult for teens to feel sleepy before 11 p.m. or midnight.
They are very difficult to wake up in time to get to school in the morning, and are often functioning at a level that we would be functioning at if we had gotten up at 4 a.m.
But help for Tori could be on the way.
I see this as an issue involving our children's health.
Sandy Evans and Phyllis Payne, two moms from Fairfax County, Virginia, founded an organization called SLEEP, Start Later for Excellence in Education proposal. Their goal? To get the high school day moved later.
Our buses come and interrupt the sleep cycle right in the middle of their sleep cycle.
They looked at success stories in Minneapolis and some 80 school districts around the country who've pushed back high school start times.
We've heard of parents driving their kids to the last bus stop just to give their kids 10 more minutes of sleep. The kids and the parents are pretty much desperate for any relief.
Alors, vous avez tous un crayon?
It's like some test or something to see.
On the surface, Joey Beer of Dayton, Ohio is a typical 14-year-old.
Are we doing the microwave thing or the oven thing tonight?
Yeah, I hit the microwave.
You could say the same thing about JC Lynn Sir. She lives outside Portland, Oregon.
JC, you want to come sit at the table?
but both have faced firsthand what their classmates fear most, the death of a loved one. Two months ago, Joey said goodbye to her grandmother, Flossie Campbell. After her own parents' divorce, Joey lived with her grandparents for 5 years.
Before my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer, I thought she would always be there. I never thought for a moment that she would be gone. She loved to live. She loved life a lot.
In my little sister's room, we've just, basically left it the way it was.
15 months ago, JC's little sister Darcy died. She had a rare genetic disorder called metachromatic leukodystrophy. JC donated bone marrow to try to save Darcy. It didn't work.
Bless this food to our bodies.
Compounding the tragedy, JC's older sister Lindy has the disease too. JC is the only one of the 3 girls who does not have this deadly disease.
Having 2 out of 3 being diagnosed was extremely devastating to the entire family, I think.
Going to a local grief counseling center has helped JC.
This is the splatter room. You can come in here and then you can just paint and you can just splatter it everywhere.
And at church, JC is the choreographer for the group her little sister would have been in.
She's constantly with me, I guess, because she's in my heart and I remember just about everything I've done with her.
What's striking about JC and Joey, though, is not that they've experienced grief at such a young age, but that they've already learned such profound lessons they can teach us.
You should never take anything for granted. That was the biggest lesson I've ever learned in my whole entire life, I guess. Don't take anything for granted. That person might not be there tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree with that a lot. I think it's a good thing to go by.
Last week, JC's family returned to the Oregon beach where they scattered Darcy's ashes.
You can get through anything, really. That's kind of something my life has taught me, is that no matter what is thrown at you, you can catch it and you can learn something from it. And when somebody you love dies, you're going to learn that life goes on and memories will stick forever.
You've been watching Glencoe's Healthy Spotlight video series. Remember, be healthy, choose wisely.